I've also got to do, what else do we have to do? Oh, we're going to a tour of homes in the area, which sounds like fun. I love going and looking at other people's homes. It's like you get to sneak inside of some other people's lives. But you also, I like to see how other people decorate. And so I think that'll be fun to do a tour of homes this weekend. So we've got some big plans going on. I'm going to be making a gnome wreath. Y'all, how cute is this? Isn't this adorable? I'll zoom in just a second. The Hubs is over there trying to figure out how to make sure I can see comments on our YouTube channel because I like to see comments and help to answer questions. So we're doing that. I'm in the Columbia, South Carolina area. Here, the weather is rainy and a little chilly, not too cold. Make sure it doesn't unplug from the outlet. Thank you, thank you.
You got it?
I got it. Thank y'all. Let's thank the Hubs. We've got, hey guys, hey Sandy from on YouTube, and we've got Marianne, Melanie, how are y'all? Let's see if I can zoom in and get this a little bit bigger. Well, it's not letting me zoom. Oh well, I'll have to squint. So we're gonna go ahead and get started so that we can get the weekend started too. Y'all, I've been ready to craft all day. I've been working with my assistant, planning out the year. Do you do that at your job? Do you get to plan out the year? I'm telling you what, it's hard to look at the whole year and figure out what you're going to do, what are you going to implement, what's the schedule going to look like, where are you traveling, what events are we having, all of those things. And it's kind of, it's took a long time. I need either a drink or to make a wreath. And I chose to make a wreath. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hi from California, cold and Friday in the upstate. Yes. Lori in North Carolina. Ohio and Indiana in the house. Welcome, everybody. All right, so let me zoom so we can see just a little bit more of this and maybe a little less of this. There we go. This is a grapevine wreath. If you have not painted a grapevine wreath, it really does add a lot of color to your design. So I love making Christmas grapevine wreaths because they're so easy. They're sturdier. You can add a lot more heavier items to a grapevine wreath versus an evergreen PVC wreath, right? So the more I can add to this, the better. But then sometimes we don't want to see, the brown grapevine. So just painting it gives it gives it a whole nother look. And so that's why I'm using this painted grapevine wreath. It says 15 inches, but I'm sure it's a 14-inch wreath. All right. Now I'm going to, let me just confirm because it could be 16. And I know everybody's going to want to know. It looks like it's not quite 16, so I'm thinking that depending on how you angle it, yeah, it probably is a 16-inch wreath. Now I'm going to get my sign. If you are a fan of gnomes for Christmas, let me know, because you either love them or you hate them. It just depends on who you ask. Inquiring minds want to know. Thank you, Jackie. If you're new, thank you. Welcome. And make sure you subscribe to our channel, or make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page and follow along with us. Don't forget to like the video. That helps the algorithm of the social media website to show my videos a little bit more. So that helps my little small business. And I do appreciate it. I appreciate it so much, more than you can imagine, when y'all like and share. It just is like a tip in my tip jar. I'm getting all of these supplies, y'all, are from Greenery Market. Who has purchased from Greenery Market before? Because I love the quality of their supplies. Just so much quality and supplies of greenery and flowers and signs and ribbon and things like that. So that's where all of these supplies came from. And I'm going to do, let me put something on here I was going to tell y'all about. This is the website for Wreath 101. Okay, so if you are interested in learning more about wreath making and you don't know where to start, just head over to our website, wreath101.com, and we go through all of the important beginner steps for a wreath maker. What would that be? Tools like the elements, coloring, and supplies, and where do I start a design? Where should I store things? And all of those questions that are answered in that course right there. And don't worry, you can watch it over and over again. You can watch it this weekend if you want to. So it's just a course that we're offering for people who are beginning wreath making. They see all the fun stuff. They see all the Pinterest pins that have all the wreaths that are like amazingly over the top pretty. They want to make their own for their own door, but they don't know where to start. That is the course right there for you. Yikes, that's loud. All right, making sure I got my sign on, my staples on. We'll put this down here. When would you start thinking about doing Valentine's? I typically, now's a good time, actually, right now. I usually do, I'm always one of the last to switch over because I just can't bring myself to stop. Anybody else like that? Anybody else like, well, I know I'm supposed to be doing another holiday right now. So she's talking about when do I start doing a different holiday because I'm a seller. She sells her creations. And you always want to stay a season and holiday ahead of what's currently, what the community is currently into. So for example, buyers right now are all about Christmas, so makers should already have all their Christmas done and should be working on the next season. Now I'm just switching this around to see where I want to put my sign. Where's it going to be snugly fit? I like that. We'll try that. All right, so we're just going to add this. In fact, I think I'm going to go through my grapevine, not around it, so we hide our mechanics. One of the things you'll learn about in the Wreath 101 course is all about mechanics and how important they are for a quality wreath that holds up when people slam that door. So does that answer your question? I would, Valentine's Day, what's the next thing? Mardi Gras, if people are in your area, celebrate Mardi Gras. St. Patrick's Day will be coming up soon too, before you know it. But for me, I just can never switch over because I still have so much Christmas. We always overbuy. And then we have all the ideas we're dying to get out. Plus, I always have to have extra in my shop, always. People buy Christmas all year round. They buy it through summer. We have our Christmas in July sale. Like Denise is saying, she loves Christmas. So people just buy it all year. And so I always like to have an overabundance, always a good quantity of Christmas. So for me, Christmas I'm fine with just sticking around for a little bit, making a little bit more Christmas. Let me move this up just a tad. Vicki says she likes gnomes a little bit more this year. Yeah, I think gnomes are going to stick around for just a little bit longer. So you got to learn to love them. Lori, Julie, how do you plan out your year? So, Lori, I sit down and I look at my calendar, and I write down all of the ideas that I want to accomplish for the year. If we want to, if I want to do a new course, or if I want to run a sale, if I have training, I have groups that I offer training, like business training. We have our Wreath of the Month Club group. All of that requires advanced planning. And so I just sit down and look at all of it, put it all on we use Google Sheets. I like to use that. We manage, we have a team. The team logs in, and we have another special software where we manage projects. But our goal today was just to say, we're committing to doing these projects and launching these courses and making, this type of wreath, and when are we going to start Christmas, and all of that is just discussed, and we put it all down. Y'all, you can't start something without a plan. You really can't. Because I know a lot of people are like, well, I'll start it one day. I'll do it one day. I'll do this someday. But that is not on your calendar. You got to actually put a date on your calendar so that you're committed and holding yourself accountable. And then once you have a deadline, you work backwards. So if I know I'm going to launch a course or open up a group or close a group, like we're talking about closing our Success Circle group to new members so we can restructure, we have that on the date, the calendar. And then what is it going to take for us to do that? Who am I going to have to contact for my website or to do an email or, all of that. So all of that is factored in, and it's just better to have a deadline and then you work backwards from it so that you can meet your deadlines. This is not something, y'all, that I knew to do. This is stuff I've learned over the years of growing my business. So there's a lot more to my business right now than when I started with that one wreath in my Etsy shop. Just started, just like you guys, one wreath in an Etsy shop. Y'all, I'm making my loops 12 inches long. We're making a bow by hand. Who does their bows by hand? All right, I'm just going to trim my streamers. So Alverna says she hasn't been able to find any grapevine wreaths at the Dollar General. So the Dollar Tree. I would suggest you checking places like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and then also there's some online shops you could try too. We did 3 loops that are 12 inches. Hey, Kim. So, Kim, I live in the Columbia, South Carolina area. Where do you live? I love this little gnome ribbon. I'm thinking I might want to put him on the back side, though, because it's black. Let's redo this. Let's put him on the back. I like black for Christmas, but just a little touch of it. You know what I mean? Let me trim this off. So we're going to be doing, let's do our little streamer, okay? And I pinch it into my fingers, right? I use my thumb and my pointer finger. I'm going to lay it down on my mat. And I'm using 12 inches. This is what I say this was, a 16-inch wreath. You can figure out the size of the loop that you want by just, placing it on here. Obviously, the larger the loop, the larger the bow, and the more product you're going to need in order to fill that space between the loop and the wreath. So the smaller the loop, the more compact and the less that you need to fill that space between the bow and the wreath. So that's sort of how you guide it. I'm going to do 12 inches, pinch it, so we take it to the back. So we have one loop, and it's got the pretty side facing us. And I'm going to take it and put it right between those 2 fingers, right? Pinching them. So when we pleat when I pinch it into my fingers or pleat it, it's pleating it, so it makes a little pucker right there at my finger. And then I'm going to twist it. If you are making the loop below your thumb, you're going to twist towards you. If you're making a loop above your thumb, you're going to twist away from you. So that might help. So now you see how I'm laying it on the mat and I'm bringing it to the back. And then I'm going to pinch it into my fingers. And then I'm going to twist away from me. Lay it down to the 12 inches, right? Take it behind, take it to the back so that it has the pretty loop. Pinch it, and then you're going to twist it towards me. 12 inches, take it to the back, pinch it, twist it. Now at this point, the ribbon is not in my 2 fingers. It's gradually starting to move closer and closer to the palm of my hand. You don't want to hold this so tight that you can't like move your ribbon and your loops and pull things out. You're holding it tight enough that it just doesn't fall on the floor. You know, I can shake it and it's not going to fall out, but I can still pull it out. That's how loose it is. So now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do 3 loops this time. So we're going to twist it towards me. Take it to the back, pinch it into my fingers, twist it away from me, and now 12 inches, take it to the back, pinch it into my fingers, and twist it towards me. So this is what we have right now, and it doesn't look very pretty in my opinion, because we need to mix up our loops. This is another reason you don't want to hold it tight, because then you can't shift things around. Y'all, it's Gnome. Let's add one more. Let's add one more. First, let's see. All right, so we've got, there are 2 loops of the black. I'm just going to spread those into X. And then I'll put these loops on top. So you see how I'm shifting things? You want to shift things around a little. All right. So now I've got 4 loops above my thumb, and I've got 3 loops below my thumb. And you can tie it off right there now if you wanted. But I'm going to go ahead and make one more loop because it's the gnome. It's the gnome. Let's put him in the center. That's going to be my center loop. I'm going to trim this off a little shorter. I think that's good. And get your florist wire. And you're going to turn your wrist like you're checking your watch. Turn the wrist like you're going to check your watch. Lift up your finger and slide your wire under. Bring it to around, all right? And now I'm pinching my fingers as I'm shaping my bow. Peyton's not feeling the color of the wreath. Well, Peyton, you could just learn the design style. How about that? And then make it your own with your own colors. That's what I advise my Wreath of the Month Club students, so they can learn and create on their own using supplies that they find and what they like. The mat, I got the mat off of Amazon. So I go through all of the tools and all of my supplies in that Wreath 101 course. I'm just going to put these to the side. I'm going to still use these. I like to use ribbon streamers at the end for filler. So now that I've got my bow, you can see that here's your bow. It's a little whimsical because it's multiple ribbons. Where's the camera? How fun. All right, and we're going to just attach it. So here I have my sign for balance. I need something over here. I'm just going to add this. Again, I like to go through my wreath because going around my wreath is just makes everything so tight. And then I can't put anything fun in it, like florals. Hey, Jamie girl. So y'all, Jamie's got her own YouTube channel. Y'all need to go give her a little follow. She makes wreaths too. Teal Lollipops. Shout out to Miss Jamie. She's doing an awesome job growing her business as well. Glenda she watches and does her own. Glenda's in the Wreath of the Month Club. So Kim, the Wreath of the Month Club is a monthly fee for just $27 a month. Cancel anytime. Right now, we're closed to new members. So, but if you want to learn more about the beginner basics of wreath making, just go to Wreath 101, and we may or may not give you a secret pass to getting into the Wreath Club. The Wreath 101 is $10. It's on sale right now for $10 off. This month of November, no, what are we in? December. I told you I've been planning my calendar all day. I have no clue what month we're in. All right, I'm just moving my streamers around a little bit. Just moving this, shifting. I think this will tighten up a little bit more once we get our flowers added. I'm just going to trim these so you can dovetail the ends of your streamers if you want to give a little, you know, fish fin look. Cat saying my work area is so neat. Well, I've sold a lot of stuff. Literally, I sold a lot of things recently, and I'm like, wow, maybe it's time to start bringing the spring in. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim this short. I'm going to leave these, I'm going to keep these because I can still come back in and add these up here later. So let's keep those. And we'll trim these. All right, so that's there. Isn't that pretty? Y'all, this is what we've got. How fun. So far, we're looking good. All right, so here is another spray. This is a spray I love when I have, so the shirt is available in my Etsy shop, Southern Charm Wreaths. Just go to Etsy, Southern Charm Wreaths, and you can find it there. And then I want to talk to you about these sprays. Okay, so sprays are something that works very well when you're creating a wreath. It takes most of the guesswork out of. If you're like trying to start and you're like, I don't know what to do, get some spray because it already puts in all of the dimension and spacing. Very important with your wreath making. The elements is one of them is, you know, the spacing. And so making sure that the spacing is there, like all the berries have their own space and all the branches have their own space. But when you start with a spray like this, it already takes that guesswork out of it, and it's, you know, spaced evenly for you. All right, so one of the things we're going to do is pop this in on one side. So we've got, trim this down. Let's see if I can trim it. Oh yeah, that's not bad. So we've got one, and I've got another one. Again, all of these came from Greenery Market. So I got all my garland from my home. Y'all, do y'all want me to do a tour of my home that I decorated? I wanted to get the outside done first, but I think I didn't do a lot on the inside, but it's, you know, it's our first year in our new home, so I was just really trying to get settled in, and I'm glad we've got a couple trees up, you know what I mean? But anyway, I got my garland from Greenery Market, and so I like using their supplies. All right, so we've got this one is going to go above our bow. Why don't we switch places? Allison says, signed up a few days ago for the Wreath 101 course. Yoo-hoo! watched the bow video today and made one using your style a little while ago, and it turned out pretty. I'm sure it did. Love it. Love it. All right, so y'all, excuse me. The Hubs has a head cold, and I'm hoping I'm not getting sick. I'm going to hold this over my sign so that I don't get glue strings on it. My glue is over here to the side of my work area. And so I just dip. This is an electric fry pan that you get at Walmart. I put my glue in, it melts, and now I can dip my glue. And this is what I'm going to use for assembling the rest of my wreath. So if you were, if you're a wreath maker or you want to be a wreath maker and you want to go really fast, this is what I like to use, because then I don't have to wait for a glue gun to heat up. You know what I mean? If you're a wreath maker, you know what I mean. Let's redo that position. Okay. Just going to give this a little bit of a bend so it's not sticking so straight up. All right, so we've got one right there. One is above it. We're going to do this one below it. This is one of those really easy wreaths, I think. A style that is quick to come together. Just going to put a little wire on so it holds a little bit better. It's just moving. It's like I can't get quite under where I need it to go, so I'm just going to make sure that it's not coming off. Remember, mechanics is super important when you're doing wreaths, because we don't want things falling apart. When little Johnny is mad at his girlfriend, or should I say the other way around, Susie's mad with the boyfriend is usually more like it, and slams the door, and everything rattles in the house. But that wreath stays together. All right, so all I've done is taken my bind wire, and I am securing it tightly. So now it's glued and wired. This one's better. Bertha wants to see a tour of the home. Okay. I'll figure out how to do that. So I'm going to have this come over here, move this around. All right, so we've got our bow. So if you want to stop right here, you could. We've got something above our bow and something below our bow. And we're going to do something in the center right here to bring it together. So let's see, I have these really pretty pine pieces. I'm going to try to decide, I think I'm going to keep them together. Let me see, which way do I want to go? When you're inserting your stems, you want to go with the grain of the wood instead of through it. so that it doesn't really pop off the back. Let's see. So you don't have anything popping through back here. It's going through the grain of the wood. All right, so we've got that one here. Let's do one on this side. So we have one on one side and one on the other. Okay, and now I'm going to do one right down here. So we're just going to do one on the bottom. To make it look like it's a continuation of the one we just added. Right there. And I'm developing my line. I've got one more. Just going to add it right up here. Ooh, the doggies. See how we've got that? Isn't that pretty? Cute, cute, cute. All right, so the other thing we've got are these buffalo plaid picks. I think these are really pretty. So we can make these any size or length that we want. For some reason Facebook stopped showing me any comments unless y'all stop talking. So my son's home. Josh, you want to come over here and make a wreath?
It's already made.
It's already made. We're putting all the finishing touches. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. You know you want to learn. You want a side hustle. I'll teach you. All right, we're just going to add this one right down here. Vicki, if you send a message to email us at info@southerncharmwreaths.com and I'll sell it to you. I'll send you an invoice and you don't have to wait for it to be listed. info@southerncharmwreaths.com. All right, I'm just going to move this around a little bit. Make that a little bit more pronounced. And then let me add a pick to the end of this right here. And I'm just going to move it. So it's peeking through. So we had one stem of the buffalo plaid that we put down here. So we've got one here, one there, and one there. And we're going to put the other spray up here on this side. Now I'm going to try to decide where do I want to put it. I think I'm going to go ahead and divide this one. Helena. Y'all see the difference of that colored wreath? It just really makes a difference when you're going to add it to your door. Thank you, guys. So there's one. I just like how they sort of like pop out. There's one. There's that. Remember I said not to get rid of your streamers. So we cut this off of our bow at the very beginning. Just going to add this up here at the top. Just to have a little bit more of that buffalo plaid showing. So buffalo plaid is super popular. It's still going strong. Again, I got all these supplies from Greenery Market. Thanks for sponsoring this video. Okay, and then let's do one more streamer down at the bottom. So these streamers are an optical illusion to my bow. It makes it look like it's part of the bow. It wasn't, was it? We took it apart. All right, I'm going to trim this. All right, I think we're done. How fun! A fun Christmas wreath. So depending on how you want your wreath to hang, you can have it either this way so that your sign is a little on the angled side, which that's how I prefer to have it. It puts the focus more on your florals. So I like that personally better. But if you like to have it, more half and half, then you can definitely have your hanger up here so that you can hang it that way, and it's more of a up and down type with your sign. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it. We have a video on how to add a wreath hanger on our YouTube channel and also on our website, southerncharmwreaths.com. Again, if you want to learn how to start wreath making, we've got our course. It's $10 off. It's Wreath 101, so I think it's like $9.97. Get you started with all of the talks about the elements, the mechanics, the how to set up your shop, or not shop, but how to organize your supplies is what I should say. Because when you start, you tend to overbuy, and we need to be able to figure out how to store things and find them when we store them. And so we talk about that, and then just the basics of where to start your first design. So that's Wreath 101. If you want to learn how to make beautiful, stunning wreaths like this that you find on Pinterest or you find on YouTube, or all the makers are making on YouTube and Facebook, then head over to Wreath 101 and get started. It's currently on sale, so treat yourself. All right, you guys, I don't see any other questions. What is your link to Greenery Market? Shirley, I don't have a link. Just go to greenerymarket.com. Greenerymarket.com. Peyton says your wreaths on Etsy are gorgeous. Thank you, girl. Did you check it out? Thanks so much. Let's see. I don't see any other questions on YouTube. Hands down, Greenery Market is the best quality, says Pam. Love it. I'm looking for any questions. I don't see any, y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'm a God girl, so I'm praying for all of you. I hope I've inspired you. My goal is to bless you with the talent that God has given me by educating you on what I have learned and self-taught myself with the art of wreath making. And I feel like if I can do it, when I started 11 years ago, stay-at-home mom, I needed something on my door. I couldn't afford what I wanted, and I learned how to make it. And so over 11 years, I have built a business, and that's what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure I educate you so y'all don't have to go through all the struggles that I did. You can get it at a quicker pace than me when I was trying to read and figure out and practice and stuff like that. So I'm giving you all the shortcuts. So y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be talking to you next.